Hi there, I am Jessica Lowell with 514 Photography. I am a wedding and portrait photographer in Northeast Georgia, and I am also a wedding business mentor and educator. Today, I want to talk to you about the photographic timeline, and I'm talking about weddings. But first, I would love for you to join my insiders list. I've got some great educational content coming out mid-year, all about selling yourself. I have a background in sales. So when I started my photography business, talking to potential clients, talking to new leads was a no-brainer for me. But for most creatives in our industry, that's something people really struggle with. And if you struggle with that, you definitely want to be on my insiders list to know and to see what I have coming out in just a few short months. So all you got to do is click the link and get my free posing guide below, and you will be the first to know when you can improve how to talk to your lead. Back to the content for today. Today we are talking about the wedding photography timeline. Me personally, I plan out every detail of what I call the wedding photography timeline. What I tell my clients is that their wedding day timeline, from the moment they line up for the ceremony to the end of the night, is pretty much dictated by their coordinator, right? Based on what time they set their ceremony to start. But everything else before that is what we create, because I'm going to be the one that's going to tell you when we need to have your hair and makeup done, when we need to slip you in your dress. And that's based on how I like to run a day. But every photographer is a little bit different. Me personally, I like to show up 4 hours before the ceremony time. We get a lot of pre-ceremony pictures done. That includes detail photos, hanging out in your PJs, getting into your dress, daddy-daughter first looks, bridesmaid reveals, first looks, bride and groom photos, and wedding party pictures. Now, the only thing that wouldn't happen is entire wedding party pictures and bride and groom photos if they don't do a bride and groom first look. So either way, I show up 3 to 4 hours before the wedding ceremony time. We get a lot done and then still hide the couple 45 minutes before the ceremony so that guests don't see the bride in her dress. So we create the photography timeline. We take that timeline, and then what I tell my couples is we'll take our photography timeline, I'll send that to your coordinator, and together we'll marry the timeline so that they have nothing to worry about on their wedding day, right? Between their A-list of vendors, we will make sure that they are completely covered. But I really want to talk to you about the importance of getting it done early and getting it done before the coordinator. I like to work on that timeline 2 months before the wedding. And I do that by sending out a pretty lengthy questionnaire. And then I've been in business this is my 7th year of weddings now, so I pretty much know, based on a few short questions in that questionnaire, exactly how their timeline is going to go. Of course, there's different parameters. If you're getting ready at an Airbnb and then you're going to a church 30 minutes away, and then from there 30 minutes away is your reception space, that's a little bit trickier, but I know how to handle that. But let's just say it's a normal venue where everything happens at the same place. Either way, the questionnaire that I send out is going to help me figure out that specific timeline for that specific couple. And I want to get all of my details figured out and send it over to my couple, make sure they think it looks good, and they're going to know by looking at that. Then they're going to know when time to tell hair and makeup that they need to be done. They're gonna know what time their flowers need to arrive, because we are going to need bouquets and boutonnieres for pictures, right? But I like to send that out before the master coordinator's timeline. That way I can send it to the coordinator, and this serves one of two purposes. One, I know I'm getting plenty of time with the couple before the ceremony and also after the ceremony. I want to make sure I get a full cocktail hour. I want to make sure the coordinator doesn't just give me 30 minutes. Sometimes they do. If they're not doing a first look, I'm going to fight for that. But either way, so that lets me send that to the coordinator, so the coordinator already knows what I need to do my job, and then 2, the coordinator doesn't have to ask me for it. So now I've already created a great impression in that coordinator's mind that I'm on top of my stuff, I'm organized, I'm ahead of time, and that saved her an email that she would have to send to me to get my timeline from me, right? Because if you're not sending it to her, she's going to him or her, they are going to ask you for it. So by creating your photographic timeline earlier than the coordinator does, one of two things happens. You make sure you get plenty of time to get all of the photos you need with the buffer time. I always plan in buffer time because things go wrong, right? And you are setting a great expectation and impression to that coordinator, who then already starts to fall in love with you. So when they're thinking about updating their preferred vendor list, you're going to be on the forefront of their mind. So that's going to help you if you're still trying to grow that area of your business, being on preferred vendor list and client, and vendor networking. So that's it. That was short and sweet, I hope, but when you're creating your photography timeline, I hope you consider doing it early. I usually do it about 2 months before the actual wedding day, and I try to get everything lined out, and I send it to my couple, and I also send it to their coordinator, which keeps the step from the couple having to send it also. I hope you enjoy. I hope you're running a thriving business, and I hope you have a blessed day.